Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to Indirect Presents Neon Abyss 2 playtest. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the original OG, which was a roguelike action platformer developed by VWoo Games and published by Team 17 and VWoo Games over depending where you're at. Now, if you know me, I love this game. I was playing this on my stream after I downloaded it. I had to buy it on Steam. I love running and gunning games, and this is like a neon-like Contra. You're just going in. It's so addicting. I love everything about it. And this is some of the reasons why this game's addicting. I'm talking about the weapons, the barrel rolls, the flying around, the epic boss fight, the bullet hell, the mini games, and the eggs. There's so much going on. But like many good things out there, they have to fall and go away. That was 2020 when they were making complete bankers, but like I said, it went away, and now we are in the modern time of 2025, and the call of the abyss is happening again. And I tell you this much right now, this game is going to ask you a question. Is it always good things come in twos? And that is true. I will bank my money on that. This game is gonna have new weapons. I'm talking about new mini games, new epic boss battles, and most importantly, more particle effects. We got to make sure that you have a seizure when you're playing these games. And the king of all kings, more eggs, which means more crazier attacks. It's been 5 years, and can Neon Abyss 2 live up to the OG? Well, in this playtest, let's find out. All right, we are in the Neon Abyss play test 2, and the thing about it, I don't know how I wanted to do this video, so I'm just going to start off right here and talk about the intro, where you have the original one down in the bottom right and you have the new one right there in the main background. Same color scheme, but they're using different different animation style for the characters. The same thing that you'll see here with the characters. At the bottom right, you see the original. They went more pixelated and a little bit of that fancy stuff, where the new one has that. They don't have that. Now, when you start this game off, you start off with like several masks, and we'll talk about more about that later, but let's talk about this right here. Now, back in the game, you had to use a key and use hand grenades to get into these rooms. Well, they said not anymore. They allow you to keep your resources, keep your keys, keep your grenades. So I think that really mainstreams and, you know, helps you move faster in the combat. Also, if you look at the bottom of the screen, we have a new weapons mechanic where we can actually see the weapons, shoot the shot, and use the special ability. Same thing with the melee, charge weapons, and all those goody, nice goody weapons that you'll get later on throughout the game. And I really appreciate that. Now, one thing they also have done, they did not get rid of the old school, I want to say mini games, but they also added some more mini games. Now, I didn't get to play all of them, but I did get to play the basketball one, and the basketball one is going to be fun, I think, in my mind, because this game's going to have multiplayer online. This game's going to be fast. Those parts are fast, fun, and you get great power up. But this is the real power up right here. This is the Soul Forge weapon. So you can break down weapons, break down items, and you can get the Soul Forge. Once you do that, you can level up that weapon. And you know, some of these can be kind of crazy. Like some of these badges can hit pretty dang hard. They'll really change how you're playing and how you're maneuvering. And I think that this is really cool. It's really different. So remember we talked about the mask earlier. Well, these masks allow you to access these hidden rooms. You only get 4 of the masks during the demo or the playtest. So we started off with the craftsman mask. You can craft items, downgrade items, dismantle items, and do a lot of things to upgrade and make you a lot stronger. Then you got the fortune mask, where you get to go to the hidden room, where you get to play 3 casino machines that run like bingo. So once you get it across, you can get these items and become a little bit stronger over time. But you have to pick that mask, and then you pick the old school mask, the dual mask, where you got the Artemis and the Ares room. Some of the best badges, I think, in the game still. But you also get an item description in these items, because, you know, back in the day, you didn't know what you're picking up. You kind of had to take a guess. But man, that's a lot going on there. and I wanted to make sure that y'all get to see more of the gameplay. So we said, let's do a boss rush. Now I took out all the meat and all the, I guess you want to say, the side salad, and we're gonna go just meat and potatoes here. For this boss rush, it took me to do the full run, 51 minutes and 38 seconds. So we're gonna chop all of the nonsense out and go straight into the fights, which are actually pretty dang cool. So Faco, who is the god of esports, I realized it right off the bat. This dude name is Faker for the SKT1 telecom team for the League of Legends. Really awesome. I like that fight. He's an easier fight. You're gonna run across him a lot more. He's an easier fight if you can fly and have AoE lockdown there. Now you got Karuta. If you don't know, this person is actually the most annoying boss in the game. Oh my goodness gracious. He separates it to several bosses and several forms, and it gets a little annoying. And then when you get him too low, he's gonna use his dark void power, which they all have. But back to the lore, that character, that person is actually, I cannot say his first name, but he is the father or the founder or the creator of emojis, and they put him in this game. And I think that's really cool with all of the cool pop culture references that they put in these games. I think that's very clever, awesome. But this boss right here, just to get him destroyed, takes so long. I lost track of myself several times in this fight, but we got the dub. Then you got Brody. I think this is Bill Brody. He owns the most World of Warcraft cards. Easiest boss in the game. He goes left to right. If you have flying capabilities, then you could just sit up there. His void power won't mean nothing to you. You could just sit up high and legit just shoot into the cards, because you know what's going to go on. You know where they're going to go in. Once that flips over, you know where the other card is going to start from, the left or go to the right, which it goes left to right and it's out of here. Now, Corinth, I couldn't catch that name. That's actually the original name of the game. So no one called it Pachinko at first. That's not the original name of the game. It was Corinthian. I'm really horrible at reading. But pretty much every boss and every sub boss has a reference to culture or pop culture or anything like that. And I think that's really cool. But this boss, I can see him being really hard because it has death pits, but I can fly. So when you're playing this game, make sure you have as much flying as it can be. If you can fly, I think you just dumpster this game a lot easier. I know this doesn't seem like I'm working really hard, because I am playing on normal. I'm not playing on abyssal. I'm not playing on hard. I'm just saying, let's just play a normal game. And I got the perfect setup. That dragon gun is awesome. It's an AoE that just spins in circle unless I tell it to go somewhere else, and it locks it down. I think it's a great game. There's some other characters, bosses in there like Sunny and Ross, the guys of stocks, but there's a lot going on in this game, and I really enjoyed playing it. And I'm gonna probably play it on stream a little bit later on today. But some of the things I really like about this is the overlay and the effects and how the game really runs as a whole. I love the weapons. I like that they have added more melee weapons and magical staff weapons. Now, you may not see me use them in this video, but they're out there. I'm talking about fist weapons and all that good stuff. I really like the artwork. I think the stages look nice, a lot more clean, especially stage 3 is my favorite stage. It has that really Japanese aesthetic. And I like how they're using more of the anime than the pixel. I like both art styles. And I love the combat. The combat right now is probably one of the best features in this game. I'm talking about from speed, wall, the eggs. The eggs mean a lot more in this game, so they give you a lot more. They can fuse, they can grow, they can join together, and they can just change a lot of the aspects. Now, there is one thing I don't like, and I still don't like to this day, and that is the music. But I can listen to whatever I want to, Spotify, stuff like that. But you know what? That's just a small thing, so why worry about that? So with that being said, first off, I want to say, is this game better than the last game? I want to say right now, that's what it looks like. They're giving us a lot of the weapons. They're giving us a lot more damage and getting out there and destroying as much as we can. They're letting us keep our resources like our keys and our grenades. And I really like that about this game. I love the Soul Forge. There's just a lot more going on. Where the original one, it started off the same way, and then over time it kind of nerfed itself. But you know what? That comes when people start making builds that can break the game. But with all that being said, I want to say thank you everyone for coming to the video. If you like this content, please hit that like, share, subscribe. If you like any of the music in this video, all of it was at the bottom of this screen where it says music, and obviously y'all can figure it out because y'all a bunch of genius folks. But with that being said, thank you all again. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully that'll be March 31st for Indirect Showcase. But until then, take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.